this comes down to Jair Alexander versus CeeDee Lamb.
And Matthew Stafford's going to cry at the end of the game.
Emotional damage.
Jared Goof.
I think, honestly, probably the hottest team in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, okay, good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's the guy you should believe in. Dropping heat like every season. Underdog like Willie Beeman. Classic
We'll
like Dom singing.
with the Packers versus the Cowboys. We all know the demons here. It's what's his? Oh my gosh, what's the Cowboys coach's name?
Mike McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy's old team in the Cowboys. We know about the game in which Aaron Rodgers just, he did Aaron Rodgers things and turned the Cowboys into the team that everyone knows they are, which is dog water.
Everyone wants them to be. We all want them to be dog water.
At the end of the day, this comes down to Jair Alexander versus CeeDee Lamb. I think it's as simple as that. Because the Cowboys are, if everything is going right, they play amazing. If they don't, then it's shambles. Granted, they're playing at home, but I love that Jordan Love is not committed to anybody and no one's really his number one option. You take away Romeo Doubs, fine, I'll throw a dart down to Jalen Reed. You don't want me to you don't want a jet sweep or a little out, a little 5-yard out to Jalen Reed in the red zone. I'll throw it to the big body and Romeo Doubs. We've got all those other guys that will get 3 to 4 targets as well. And then, oh, by the way, Aaron Jones just entered the chat and he's running for 100+ every single game he's been back. So fully healthy, I should say. So I think there's more, especially with the Packers. They're playing with house money. There's more for the Cowboys to lose, and they're good at, when the stakes are high, losing. So
honestly, I want to take the Packers coaching staff / front office to Vegas, because they did a huge gamble suspending Alexander. I can't say his first name. Jair Alexander. They took a huge gamble suspending him. And then they won that game and went into the playoffs. And now it's even better because he had an entire week's rest. And now he's going up against CeeDee Lamb, who is arguably the entire Cowboys offense rolled up in the one. It's only him. Yeah. So it's actually looking, because everybody's thinking Cowboys are going to smoke the Packers. It's honestly looking very good. You have one of the best corners in the league off of one whole week's rest going in, and the entire game relies on him shutting down CeeDee Lamb. I think I'm going to take the upset here. I'm going Packers.
You're taking this game.
So you're taking the Packers. Zane. Okay.
This is one of those games that I wasn't sure what to put. I was going through stuff. Originally, I was thinking Cowboys. And the main reason is, the two main reasons I have for that is because it's in Dallas. Regardless, I know you guys hate the Cowboys fans, but there's a reason.
There'll be a lot of Ohioans and
Iowans.
Yeah, a lot of Iowans and Ohioans there, because nobody from Texas is a Dallas Cowboys fan.
That's a hard place to play.
It is in Jerry World.
Obviously, Jerry World. It's gonna be a tough place. And also, I saw that the Packers are the youngest playoff team since the 74 Bills.
Yes, they are.
And again, like I said, experienced teams are often teams that beat the inexperienced teams, especially when it comes to the playoffs. And then you have the CD and Dak duo, which has been just absolutely unstoppable. And also the Micah Parsons rush, which kind of scares me for Jordan Love. With that being said, Pack is back, baby. I'm gonna go Packers.
Yeah, quick point about the Michael Parsons rush. They are switching out their O-line every so often of plays, so they won't get that tired. So they might be able to stop Michael Parsons.
That's a good point.
Devin?
The correct pick is Dallas. But we hate Dallas Cowboys in this house.
Yeah, we do, baby.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Packers,
we do.
baby. Let's go
Bro,
Packers.
I'm just going Packers just because I'm like, shoot,
Screw the
I'm rooting
Cowboys.
for him. It'd be
I
cool.
I think it just comes down to it can get out of hand fast if Dallas gets on a roll. But again, it comes back to that thing of just what you don't know doesn't hurt you. Same thing with CJ when it comes to Jordan Love. What you don't know won't hurt you, and they're just. I think Zane made a good point in terms of Jair Alexander coming off of essentially a week of rest playing last week to just get kind of the juices flowing, and then coming into the playoffs fresh and ready to go. So next up, we have Rams Lions, which is the Sunday night football game. This is really tough for Lions fans because this is the first time they've won their division. But on the other side of the ball, you got to watch your guy that committed to doing everything in his power to getting the Lions to the playoffs every year. And a lot of times it did not work out on the other side of the ball. And usually it's hard for a quarterback to go into an away atmosphere, especially in Detroit, that's going to be absolutely fired up for this game and win, but it's Matthew Stafford. And they're coming in right now, the hottest team, I think, honestly, probably the hottest team in the playoffs right now coming in.
Yes,
And
yes.
Puka just wowed the world. He's got a good case for offensive rookie of the year. He's a record holder for most receiving yards, most receptions in as a rookie. And this is the first time they've had everyone on offense really healthy, all their big weapons. Cooper Kupp missed the beginning of the year. Kyron Williams and Puka were hot. Then Kyron went out for the middle of the season while Cooper was back, and he struggled. Puka stayed moderately consistent. And then the last couple weeks, everyone's on the field, and it looks absolutely unstoppable. If there's anyone that can deal with a bad O-line and getting absolutely peppered and just rocked in the pocket, it's Matthew Stafford. And for that reason, I'm taking the upset here. We're going Rams.
This is the toughest game to choose. And it's hard for me too because like looking at all the stats and all that stuff is one thing, but then like always part of me, final say if I can't decide is like who I want to win. And to be honest, I want both teams to win. Like the Rams, who were like this underdog all year, coming back, they're hot. Then you got the Lions, who have been garbage for years, and now it's like they finally have a chance. You know what I mean? Like it's hard. It would be just terrible to see either of them go down. But the one thing that caught my eye, no Laporta for the Lions, and I think
That's huge.
that's detrimental because they've been using. I mean, he's top 3 tight end right now. Like he is going nuts, and the Lions need him. And I think I'm not a Jared Goff hater at all. I like Jared Goff, but I just think
Jared Goof.
I think for it's gonna be real tough for him. Not saying they don't have other weapons. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown's a great receiver, but to not have his tight end, like you guys were saying earlier, that's like a security blanket for a quarterback. And for him to not have Laporta, who's been his guy all year, I think that's gonna hurt him. And I just don't think Jared Goff isn't at like this next level yet. Like I think he could take a step to where he could be a top quarterback, but he's just not like he can't get there yet.
Especially with this Rams rush, the ball security worries me a lot. We saw them on Thanksgiving, and we saw the potato game that Jared Goff had, and
Yeah.
I can see
He
that
doesn't like
happening
playing in the cold.
I can see that happening if the blue and gold are, rushing hard as hell to begin.
Well, and no one knows that Rams defense, but they've been playing good. I mean, like
Yeah.
you have Aaron Donald, obviously.
That's the
and
only name to me.
The rest of the D line's been playing solid, but their secondary has also been playing really well too. And I think that's gonna fluster Jared Goff a little bit. So I am also going to take the upset, and I'm going to take the Rams as well.
So, Dev, you got a repeat. I'm going to use my repeat for Lions Rams. I agree with you. It's going to be a tough game, but emotionally, it's going to be a very painful game. It's going to hurt a lot. Because here's the thing is
emotional damage.
as much as like the Cowboys are the most hated team in the league, I feel like when Matthew Stafford was on the Lions and he was doing his thing and just getting absolutely just the crap kicked out of him year after year, I don't think anybody hated the Lions and Matthew Stafford. So it's gonna hurt really bad when Matt, who dedicated 12 years of his life, walks into his old building and just beheads the hope that the Detroit Lions fans had for making a good playoff run, possibly getting to the Super Bowl. It's going to hurt a lot. And I don't see the Lions beating the Rams right now because just the same reason why Matthew Stafford was on the Lions for that long, right? You're talking about a long career with the Lions where they did not draft another quarterback. They did not bench him and start somebody else. He was their starter for a long period of time because he was so great. And now he's on the Rams and he's in the playoffs. They're 2 years away, 2 years back. They won a Super Bowl. And now everybody's healthy. The only person that I can think of that's not there anymore is Odell. I'm pretty sure there's somebody on the defense that's not there.
Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna suck. Lions fans are gonna they finally climbed out of depression. And then they're gonna fall back down. And it's gonna suck. And Matthew Stafford's gonna cry at the end of the game.
Yeah, probably.
Taking Rams.
Okay. This is the Monday night game. We have Eagles Buccaneers. I don't know if there's a lot to talk about in terms of game script here. The more notable things I think that are going into this is that they're playing in Tampa Bay, which is warm weather team playing against a cold weather team. The other big thing here is we don't know the health of AJ Brown. They luckily get 2 extra days in terms of they're playing on Monday, which is huge. So that he's up in the air of whether he's going to be healthy. If he's not, that's going to have a huge impact. And then finally, I think this has the potential to be a Rashad White legacy game, like a 50-50, 7 receptions, 2 touchdowns. You know what I mean? This has all the makings of a Bucs upset, even though they are the 4 seed.
I'm sticking to my take from yesterday. I think Baker truly comes alive when he has pressure, truly comes alive when the expectation and everybody's counting on him. I think that's when he comes alive. So I'm going to take the upset. I'm going Bucs. I'm just going to keep it simple.
Yeah, to your point, I agree with you. I feel like Baker's going to this game like playing. I mean, what does he have to lose?
Nothing.
You know, and I mean the Eagles have everything to lose. They were in the Super Bowl last year. Now they're completely in shambles. So I think Baker going out there like, you know what, this is high stakes for our team, and also I got nothing to lose. I'm gonna sling the rock. And obviously, yeah, AJ Brown not even if he does play, which he probably will play, I still don't. He's still not gonna be fully healthy. And I think also, I mean, his health is one thing, but he looks kind of frustrated out there, which I don't blame him at all. I mean, the whole team looks frustrated, but it's kind of like they're hitting the Chiefs lull that they hit, where everything was just like, what is going on, and it's just skidding down, down, and they could pull it up, but it hit so in that latter half of the season to where I think it's too late for the Eagles, and playing against a team that, like I said, has nothing to lose in Tampa Bay. I'm going to give it to the Bucs.
So I don't know if this is real or not, but I have received information from the internet that this week Jalen Hurts has been practicing falling with the ball in his hand to not fumble it because the team has been so upset with him on the amount of turnovers he's had. I don't know if that is true or if it was a meme post. It was just information that I saw scrolling.
Adam Schefter just texted me, told me that.
Adam Schefter texted you? You got to give me his number later.
No,
I'm so conflicted in this because I'd like to just stick with the clean sweep across the board in the NFC, like in the NFC side of the playoffs here.
No, show some muscle, show some bones, show
But
some
show a
heart.
hard bone. Show a hard bone in your body.
Show a hard bone poking through your skin.
but there's a part of me that likes this storyline for the Eagles in terms of being that gritty team that just figures it out. And like you said, playing in Tampa Bay, they're used to cold weather. This is going to be a different kind of grit because it's not going to necessarily be about the run game and about, the cold weather and overcoming. It's more so about this is the moment where if there's anyone I want in my locker room to get the boys to band together, it's Jalen Hurts. And if there's anyone that can turn them around and will them in sheer willpower, not necessarily in play, but in willpower of just like, we need to win this game, then Jalen Hurts. And so I've been thinking Bucs all week. I'm going to go Eagles though.
I like
Trav,
it.
Trav, come back up close to the camera.
I'm going to go Eagles here. So we've got our first round of the playoff
I think you
picks.
stay like that. I think he stays like that.